More pain for Celtic fans as Reo Hatate has rejected a new deal offered by Celtic, and Brendan Rodgers ain't a happy bunny. Welcome back to Fog Football, and probably the last thing Celtic need it on top of all the injury news that they've been receiving recently, especially at the back. But we're moving a wee bit forward. We're going into that midfield area, and Reo Hatate has rejected a contract extension. Now, he has rejected a contract extension. And, you know, I don't think any time a player rejects a contract is good news. Now, there is instances where this player simply just wants a bit more money and then they'll stay, blah, blah, blah. But I think with this one, I think he literally just does want to leave. I don't think it's a case of, hey, I'll stay if the Benjamins are red, baby. No, I don't think it's that. But he is under contract 2026, so, you know, that means Celtic have got him for 3 more years. So, you look at it like that. Could Reo Hatate just stay and see his contract out? He could, but from a Celtic point of view, if he doesn't want to be there, and you know there will be a lot of teams that are interested in Reo Hatate. Like you look, Brighton just sold Casado. No, different technical type of player, I guess, but Brighton were interested in Hatate, and Brighton would know I know for a fact, and everyone else knows for a fact, if Brighton signed Hatate, right, he'd have one good season in the Premier League. And then Brighton would be getting bombarded with like £150 million bids for Chelsea, because that's just how Brighton work, man. They just fleece the top 6 in England. But you know, here, it's a good tactic, and they're dumb enough to fucking pay money for people who actually aren't even that good. Or could there be another option for a tie? Could it be Angie? Could it be Fat Ange? Of course, Tottenham have actually had a pretty decent start. I mean, against Brentford, they drew 2 each, and it's like, you know, they're probably drawn against one of their rivals this season. And then they went and pumped United. But then again, United are shite. Like if you look at United's 2 games in the Premier League so far this season, they should have at least drew against Wolves. Wolves get shafted at a penalty. And then you know, against Tottenham, United were shite. That's 2 games in. I mean, where are Tottenham going to finish this season? You got to feel for Ange a wee bit, because like Harry Kane's left, and obviously losing a player like Kane, even though I think he is overrated, but you can't deny that he brings goals to the table, and taking like 30 odd goals or whatever a team a season, it's going to affect it in some way or capacity or whatever. And for Hatate, you know, how much would Celtic want? Would they want 25 million for Hatate to come in there? Because it'll be interesting to see what Ange wants. But I truly think if Ange, right, if he wanted Kyogo and Hatate, he would have already come in for them. Now I know there's been links all summer long, right? But surely if Ange wanted them, he'd have done it now. He'd have already done it by now. He probably would have done it before the season even begun, as like out of like respect for Celtic. But at the end of the day, he's not. And or maybe it's just he simply thinks they're not cut out for that level. I think they are, personally. I mean, we see it with Gerrard. Like Gerrard came into Aston Villa, and everyone's sitting thinking, oh fuck, Gerrard's going to take all these Rangers players, and then he never. Now, is that because there's a bit of respect towards like these managers? Like, oh, I don't want to, you know, destroy Rangers or Celtic, or is it just his rubber evens at fault? But Reo Hatate has rejected the contract, guys. Brendan Rodgers has come out and said he's warned his Celtic fringe players that they need to come to the forefront due to all these injuries, and they need to hit the ground running, or else there's going to be serious consequences for them. But Celtic, of course, their next 2 games are against St Johnstone and Rangers. They're at home against St Johnstone. It's probably the easiest match you could ask for across of Europe, man, because St Johnstone look awful. St Johnstone, I believe, they haven't even scored a goal. They don't score goals. They don't do anything. They concede for fun. They got pumped in the Five Play Cup. I just don't see a world where St Johnstone are actually going to fucking do anything this season. And, you know, like, honestly, it is like the perfect team for Celtic to face at home, just to build a bit of momentum towards, you know, the Old Firm. But again, they've already got me. Celtic, I mean, we can talk about how shite that League Cup game was against Kelly, but Celtic not playing good have already got registered 2 wins in the Premiership. Of course, one against Aberdeen. You just wish, from my point of view, I wish they were taking on like a Hearts or something, or even a Hibs, a Lee Johnson, Motherwell or something. But literally, man, even Dundee would fucking think, oh, Dundee would nearly promote it though. They'll give it a good game against Celtic, but St Johnstone, I've zero faith in that whatsoever. But anyway, guys, that's it. Reo Hatate rejects a new deal for Celtic. Will he be leaving? We'll cover all the news, but until then, peace.